Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Video Game Debate Club. I'm Alex.
I'm
This is
Spencer.
Spencer,
Okay, this is Spencer. Hey, you
and
gotta
he's
let me
taking a
introduce
shit.
myself. We're
Okay, I'm sorry.
we're versus
I'm
now.
sorry.
We're starting
I'm,
from here for the
fuck you.
next hour or so. We're enemies.
Not yet. Not yet. We don't know what side we're on yet.
It doesn't matter.
This is the pre-show.
We know we're on different sides, so we're enemies from here on out. You dolt. Yeah.
Wow, that hurt.
Oh. Oh.
Oh!
Oh. Oh. But the one thing we
This
can
is
both
the first.
the one thing we can both agree on is that if you want more of our content, you should check us out on this channel, YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And check us out on Discord, where everyone's debating all the time.
We are also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check us out there. Subscribe, listen to the episodes, watch the episodes, not there, but on YouTube, and enjoy the content. We've been working hard this year on our content. This is a first in a what might be a series. We'll see how it goes. Video Game Debate Club. So let's just. I'm gonna just do a little outline of how we think this is gonna go.
Okay.
Me and Spencer are going to in these episodes, if we continue to do these, me and Spencer are going to talk about and debate, one thing versus another. And the thing is that we don't know who's defending what yet, and we have no allegiance to either side.
Yes.
So, but once we know who gets what, we are devoted. This is it. Yes.
We're zoned in.
We're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we going to decide who takes what? The good old American.
I thought you had a.
What's that?
You had a coin flip, right?
You just ruined it. I have it on another screen. Oh my!
I didn't
God.
know you.
See,
I
Alex.
didn't know you were doing a bit.
Here's our
I didn't
first
know
debate.
you were doing a bit.
Here's the first debate.
I didn't know you were doing a bit.
My partner doesn't know how to run a podcast. Guess what? I do.
Didn't know
That's
you
what.
were. I thought you genuinely were asking me.
Yeah. I was
Okay,
genuine.
hold on. Let's just rewind it. Let's just rewind it. Are you ready? You said. Yeah. Just act like that didn't happen. Ready?
I'm asking the audience this. Just a heads up for you, because we haven't done this thing yet. I'm gonna ask the audience something. How are we going to decide who's going to pick which topic or which side? I should
With
say?
a coin flip.
With a coin flip. Wow. There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
All right. So Alex is going to call it, and if he gets it right, he will get the PlayStation 5. If he gets it wrong, he will get the Xbox modern series.
We haven't even said what we're doing. We're doing PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series S and X. Whatever the fuck. I'm just going to Xbox. Just call it Xbox Series. I hate the fuck. Okay, whatever.
Let me change it. Xbox. Let me adjust it real quick. Xbox Series. Bam. Okay, we're good. We're locked in. Hold on. We gotta add drama to things. You gotta make things dramatic. See, this is why we're not the best podcast in the world yet.
Should I do a drum roll?
Yeah, a drum roll would be nice. That's
not a drum roll. That's the only drums I have.
Okay. So remember, if you get it right, you're getting the PS5. If you get it wrong, you're getting the Xbox Series. All right?
I have no preference.
No preference. Heads or tails?
I'm a Sonic fan, so I'm going to say tails.
We're flipping. Heads.
Oh, I get the Xbox Series and you get the PlayStation 5.
That's right. Let me add the logos here. Okay. And
all right, time for the debate.
The debate begins.
So we do have 5 bullet points we need to get through, but just like an actual debate, do you want to take a minute and do opening statements?
Yes, that's a good idea.
All right, Spencer, I'll let you lead.
You know, gaming's been around for a while. In between the two participants in today's debate, the Xbox and the PlayStation brands, the PlayStation has been around for much longer. And I think time is on its side. It's seen us grow up as gamers. It's watched our preferences. It's created characters, created series, created memories, quite frankly, that have lasted from the beginning and can still carry on to today. I think those brands are strong, and I think you're going to find that the PlayStation is the number one console on the market today. I'm not even just talking about Xbox. I'm talking about Nintendo. I'm talking about if Sega decided to try to make something again, it would have topped them because it always did. The PlayStation brand is strong, is powerful, and is important not only to American culture, but to video game culture and probably pop culture in general. So, PlayStation is the king.
Today we are going to hear about a lot of accomplishments from certain brands. But one thing you can't take away from the Xbox brand is the innovation it has brought along the way. Um, my opponent tonight will brag about his console being around for 5 more years than mine. That's okay. Have you ever met a 5-year-old? They're not that smart. Um, so tonight we will be talking about the accomplishments and the innovations that my brand Xbox has brought to the table. Even through its ups and downs, even when the company was at its lowest last, with the Xbox One, it was still focused on it was through innovations, even if it was a little misguided. But I think everyone loves a good underdog story. Microsoft and the Xbox has always been there as somewhat of an underdog, and I think they're going to steal the hearts of the audience tonight. So, uh, can't wait to talk to you about my brand.
All right. First topic.
Games.
All right. Let's talk about the games. You want me to go first?
Yeah, we'll just keep going in this order,
Okay. This is okay.
unless you feel like you want to change it, but that's fine.
I think it's without a doubt that right now one of the stalwarts of the PlayStation brand is its original titles. Specifically, we're talking Horizon. We're talking God of War. These are all system sellers. It's been proven. Um, we're talking the Ghost of Tsushima, which the sequel is coming out soon. Um, but it's also had its own little victories as well. It's got Helldivers, huge last year. Um, we're not talking about some of the other flops that may have come out on the Sony brand, but there's a. It's undeniable that one of the reasons people flock to the PlayStation 5 is because of those original games that they can't get anywhere else. Now, yes, they are releasing them on PC, but much later. So you to get them when they're hot and new, only on the PlayStation.
The Xbox catalog is not vast, but it is varied. I think every Xbox exclusive has its own personality. You have series like Halo, like Forza, like Gears of War. There's an upcoming Fable game. The Xbox brand as a whole and its library of games are varied, and they do what they do frequently well. Xbox has also obtained a lot of other games throughout the years that you could call, in some way, an Xbox Studio project. Anything by Activision now, anything by Blizzard, anything by um, Bethesda, Ninja Theory. They've bought these studios, and they're using their talents to create new and innovative games. Um, Now you can find Xbox games on other hardware, which is something that no other publisher, no other hardware manufacturer really does. You can find them on the competitors' hardware. I think Forza Horizon 5 is actually coming out on PS5 very soon. Um, is that a strike against Xbox as a whole? I don't think so, because that means there's more eyes on the fantastic library of games that Xbox is producing.
So what you're saying is that on the PlayStation 5 you can only get certain games, only get certain great games, or if you go to the Xbox side, you can get them on the PlayStation anyway, all the good ones.
Yeah, but you're going to have to pay more. The special thing about Xbox games, unlike your brand, is that over on the Xbox, whenever a new game comes out, you can play it day one on Game Pass. As long as you have that monthly subscription, $20, you can play the new Forza, the new Indiana Jones, the new Halo, whatever it is you want to play. It's there for free. If that game does decide to come over to your console a couple of years later, you're gonna have to pay the full $60 in order to play it. I don't think your company puts their games out on their subscription service day one, which seems like they're kind of holding them hostage. you
Well,
know?
here's the deal, and we'll talk about value in a little bit. But why not? If you have a good product that you think people will buy, why not sell it? That's like, I know that's a
I
crazy idea, but it's like, why would you? It's interesting that a company has to give their games away. You know,
we're not. We are selling it for $20 a month through millions
you're
of
selling
users.
you're selling the ability to play it,
Mhm.
to stream it almost. Technically, you download it, but still, you're getting the ability to play it. And as soon as you stop paying that, as soon as ooh, I decided I don't want to play these Xbox games because they're kind of trash, and then you take your Game Pass thing away. It's gone. Poof. You technically you don't have any games, right? Yes or
No, I
yes?
wouldn't say that. The average consumer buys only a few games a year, a few new games a year.
Oh, here's
Correct.
the talking points.
So,
I love it.
so if we charge $20 a month to play all of our games, then technically we would be making more money through all of our users who may only buy one or two games.
Um. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're marketing to like a grandpa that says, "I just want to play a
Oh.
racing game," and maybe a dude bro that just wants to play
Mm,
a sports game, and they're like, "Well, I'm not going to pay anything else."
let's
Maybe. But I think to most of us gamers, especially in our circle, especially to anyone that's listening to this that would care, they don't play just one or two games a year. They like to get a lot of games, and they like to really sink their teeth into some content, which which I think the PlayStation caters to that because you can actually own the games that you want to play.
see. It's funny that he's talking about the types of games and the content, supplied, because we have a small but varied library, and he has a vast library of the same games over and over again. His exclusives are exclusively story driven third person experiences. He doesn't really produce much else. He doesn't give you many options. If you like this one type of game, sure, you could play the PlayStation brand of consoles, but over on our side, we actually try to bring new experiences to our players through some of the greatest selling franchises of all times: Halo, Forza, Minecraft. there's a lot to enjoy over on our side.
The last two, by the way, you can get on the PlayStation. So yeah. When was the last time you were excited to play Halo? I'd like to. When was the last time anyone was like, "Oh, a new Gears of War"? Boy, I'd love to play that. Those Xbox exclusives dwindling. Nobody really. And what about Bethesda? When were they good? Um, Maybe like 10 years ago or something. What was the last good game they ever made? I don't even know. They released a game that was supposed to be like a what was the space one that they just released? It
Failed.
I'm curious how much money they put into that, and nobody cared. It literally came out and people forgot about it almost instantly. Xbox is a really good place for gaming developers to go die. Like if they're like, we're done making quality, we're just gonna pack it up and sign up with Microsoft because
we have a brand new Bethesda game launching this year with Doom: The Dark Ages, and it's very people are very excited for it.
That's a fitting name for where the Xbox is at this point, the Dark Ages.
Also, there's more. I honestly think I have more brand synergy than you have over on your side. Just the other day, we launched a trailer for the brand new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, which is a Activision property, mind you. Yeah. And we announced that alongside of it, you can actually play as the Doom Slayer, a Bethesda property, meaning that we're willing to, kind of reach into each other's toolboxes and bring each other's games to life with what we have to offer.
Wow, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. That's real interesting.
The first one was a big seller.
And it's also on PlayStation. I don't know.
What will it be?
On my games clearly have withstood the test of time. They're still making Final Fantasy games. Technically, they're on multi-plat, but they come out on PlayStation first. But yeah, those Final Fantasy games, they're still making Final Fantasy VII. That brand is the Final Fantasy VII is so strong of a brand; it's its own brand outside of Final Fantasy. That's how powerful that game is.
See, I think you inflate the number of games you have exclusive to your console by remastering games you've already made over and over, games you can already play. Spider-Man, The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, Horizon. No, I'm not done. Days Gone just got a remaster. Remember who wanted Days Gone to come back? It seems like you guys whenever you guys actually do make something new and creative, like Astrobot, it won Game of the Year. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Game of the Year.
But it seems like you guys don't do that very often. You seem to re-release the same garbage.
Okay, I've got two problems with what you just said. One, you said the same garbage. Okay, these games are not garbage. The Last of Us, I can't imagine how many Game of the Year awards The Last of Us earned. Same with The Last of Us 2. Same with God of War.
Days Gone win, huh?
Days Gone. I didn't mention. Okay, they're not all winners. I'll give you that one. See, I'm conceding a little bit here. But question for you. My other problem is, don't you want the games you love to be in the best possible hardware configurations as possible?
And they are. See, unlike you, we don't resell our games. We have backwards compatibility. Meaning that you can actually play your original copy of Gears of War 2 if you really wanted to. And we automatically upscale it. We add better frame rate. We do everything you need to do to make that game work.
The ignorancy is not a word. The ignorance on this side of the debate is absurd. If you listen closely to what he said they bring them back through backwards compatibility and upscale them. I'm not interested in upscales. I'm interested in an HD remaster. The game is built for
resales. So that's what you're interested in.
No. Well, you're going to sell it again because people will buy it. Why
are they selling
Halo
it?
8.
Why?
But
what? Why are they selling The Last of Us again, right? It's because they have a brand new television show. Why are they selling Horizon again? It's because they have a brand new television show. Why
Wow,
are they selling
interesting.
Until Dawn again? It's because they have a brand new movie. It's almost like
It's
it's almost like their games are more commercials for the other products they
it's
have
it's
instead of being actual good games.
it's almost like people really love these games that they want to see them grow and expand beyond gaming. They're so good. That wow, interesting, huh? Interesting.
Then why not just make a new game instead of reselling the old game to advertise?
They sell plenty of new games. They sell new games. They sell remastered games. It's come over to the PlayStation side. We're having a good time, you know?
See, it's funny you take a shot at Halo earlier, talking about nobody wants to play Halo.
Yeah.
Halo has a very active online community that still gets updated to this day.
I
Let's
wonder.
talk about Concord. Let's talk about Concord.
Let's not
You're
talk
see
about that.
Halo's free to play now. Let's talk about Concord. What happened
Let's
to your free to play shooter game? Can you tell me? You know what
Helldivers.
happened?
Helldivers. It's great. They're
No.
constantly
Let's
updating.
talk about no. That's not free to play. Let's talk about Concord.
Um. Uh. Helldivers is doing great, and it's constantly evolving. I think everyone's really excited about Helldivers. I don't have any record about a game called Concord. There's nothing in here about it. So I can't.
I'm ready to move on to hardware.
Okay. Let's talk about the hardware.
I think I'll lead on this one.
Okay.
So, how many times have you bought a brand new PlayStation console just to find out that you're launched into a brand new ecosystem? Many, many times. Too many times. And now, the PlayStation 5, oddly enough, took a note from us, and they've integrated their PlayStation 4 hardware into their PlayStation 5 hardware, which is something that we've been touting for a while now. We basically built the Xbox Series hardware, the console and the interface off of what we did right with the Xbox One. Made it more powerful. Technically, the Xbox Series is more powerful than the PlayStation 5 in terms of specs.
Slightly.
And
Slightly.
but it is. And the things we're able to do with the Xbox Series X are great. It has a lot of potential. I don't know if that potential, if that potential has ever been reached, but you could. It's basically the closest you're getting to a gaming PC without buying a gaming PC. The PlayStation 5, my opponent tonight, is gonna tout its cool design and innovative ray tracing technology, but really it's just a PlayStation 4 with some new features.
Again, I he comes to this without numbers. And that's what I don't like. And I'm actually going to give numbers that support him. So he's
Okay.
he should be thankful that he has such a gracious opponent who's willing to play ball. The CPU on the PS5 is an 8-core, 3.5 gigahertz AMD Zen 2 processor. The Xbox Series X is an 8-core, 3.8 gigahertz AMD Zen 2. So the Xbox Series X beats it out just a little bit.
Every time, baby.
The GPU on the PS5 is a 10.3 teraflop AMD RDNA 2. The Xbox Series X is a 12 teraflop AMD RDNA 2. So a pretty distinct advantage on the Xbox there. They both have the same RAM, 16 gigabytes. Their storage is basically the same. I think PlayStation 5 actually is worse because I think it fills its SSD with some more stuff, so it has an 825 gigabyte versus a 1 terabyte on the Xbox. And they both have up to 8K resolution. They both have up to 120 frames per second, and they both have the 4K UHD optical disc. I will say though that despite the PlayStation 5 having less powerful specs, um, we do have a company that's willing to use its specs for the good of gamers. As you mentioned, you talked about ray tracing. You talked about all these really great features that there's has that the Xbox doesn't take advantage of. So if Microsoft focused so much on the specs of its console and then doesn't really use it, it's like wow, we'll make a really great console with a lot of power. Good on them. I like that. I'm a PC gamer, so specs mean something to me. But specs don't mean anything if you're just gonna play Xbox 360 games all day. Wow, it's like, well, let's make a really big machine and then play Minecraft. That's what I view the Xbox as. A lot of potential. I'll give them that. A lot of potential over on this side of the aisle, but none of it is being used, and I think that's a shame.
We use our technology in more creative ways than I think Sony does. My opponent over here, he uses his technology for a 20-minute cutscene in a video game where the character busts through three different dimensions, and that's your ooh ah. But yet, whenever you want to switch games to play another game, you have to exit out of the game you're currently playing to play another game. Over on the Xbox, we have this amazing thing called Quick Resume, where you can leave games running, multiple games running, at the same spot, all across 3, 4, 5 games, and pick up where you left off, meaning that you jump instantly into the action. We're really using the hardware in ways that really help the gamer instead of dazzle the gamer, like my opponent over here. Because you don't have to save your game, quit your game, open a new game. No, you can just quick resume, leave, come back, and it's still going to be there waiting for you.
Unless it crashes. Unless it crashes, and over there it be crashing because Xbox can't. They introduce that is an interesting feature, and one that I'm sure Sony will steal within the next
I'm
probably
sure.
probably the PlayStation 5 Plus or some whatever Pro edition it has. But I'm sure when they do it, they'll do it where the games don't crash, because it's not a great feeling. It's cool to know that your console can keep multiple games running. Um, but maybe Xbox. The question is, should they keep both games running, because they can't seem to handle it when they do. So I wouldn't tout that feature. I don't think it works as well as people are thinking.
Let's talk about storage. Let's talk about console storage for a minute. If you would like to expand the storage of your Xbox, which already has 1 terabyte, to mind you, which is quite a bit.
Mhm.
If you would like to expand the storage, all you have to do is go to your local Best Buy, GameStop, wherever you buy your technology, and buy one of the patented Xbox expansion cards. Take it home, pop it into the back of your Xbox, and guess what? You got 2 more terabytes, baby. You got 4 more terabytes, baby. Whatever it is you want. Over on the PlayStation, you're going to have to buy an SSD with the correct heatsink, and then you're going to have to take off its cute little shell, and then you're going to have to figure out how to install it. And they don't really make it easy to expand their already stingy, might I say, memory. Meaning that, yeah, while you're going to play some cool exclusive games like Days Gone, you're not going to have the space to keep multiple games on your console at once.
Um, I think the problem is that Microsoft knows that its gamers can't handle complicated things like numbers and how to plug in a USB and how to look at digital interfaces. Sony understands that a more sophisticated audience is able to say, "Oh, I need a hard drive. I want to get instead of being locked into Microsoft's ecosystem, I want to be able to pick a storage space, a storage device from a broad array. Maybe Western Digital is having a sale, and you can get a lot more, a lot more, a lot more terabytes of space for a lot less money. So maybe I can just shop and find the best deal for me. And because I'm not an ape. It's like I can't. Well, how do I put this in my console? No, no, no. Sony knows its gamers are smarter than that and know how to plug in a USB, so they can put in any kind of hardware that they want. So that's more of a PC idea that I think Sony was forward thinking and decided to introduce to their service. And it gives you freedom. It puts the freedom back in the player, which I think is a good thing.
You have the freedom to take apart any piece of technology. Nobody wants to open up their game console because the game console is all about convenience. That's why you buy it. And the convenience of the Xbox is that you can just plug that baby in and get the game in. It's immediate. It's just you plug it in, you're good to go. You don't need to take off the shell or find the correct placement of the SSD. You just plug it into the back and you're ready to go. And that's all you need.
So I
That's all you
guess
need.
I guess freedom isn't really your thing. Like the ability to do whatever you want with whatever you want.
I
That's
like to
cool.
offer my
That's
customer
cool.
convenience. Convenience.
I guess like Soviet Russia's where you're from, where you're calling from. Is that it's a red curtain I see. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
We should talk about the controllers because some things to say about the controllers.
Let's do it. The
I'm gonna let
PlayStation.
my
Oh, go
opponent
ahead.
go first.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
The PlayStation 5 is constantly being praised as having the best controller in the current generation. It's got a lot of haptic feedback. It's got an interesting ergonomic design. It's patented that big like thing you can press at the front. Wow. Like it's got like a whole there's a lot of functionality behind that. Easy to use. It's easy to get around the ecosystem with it. You can see that they're intuitively built together where you can get like with the click of a button you can figure out how much of a scene you wanted to record so you can see it later on the beautiful screen, the beautiful graphics the games have. And the trigger it feels very natural. It's good for racing games. It's probably why that's probably why Forza was like, well, I want to build over there on the PS5 because like, it feels a lot better on their controller. Even comparing it to the $100, $200, $300 controller Microsoft has, that it's cool to get a mortgage for a controller, but I'd rather just the normal one be really good, which is the case for the PlayStation 5 for my brand.
See, he touts all these fancy features with his controller, but nobody uses them. They're never used. Yeah, haptic feedback, the cool triggers, all this stuff. Never used in his games. Maybe one or two games that he makes deliberately uses them. Other than that, never used. Over on the Xbox, we did a little thing 2 generations ago with the Xbox 360. It's called Mastering the Controller. We undoubtedly had the best controller design of all time. It's used across all platforms, PC included, and people love that controller design. All we've done throughout the years is take what people already love and improve it, make it better, make it more ergonomic, make it nicer, more quality. I've noticed there's been an issue with PlayStation controllers throughout the last few generations. Not only do they have a bit of an identity crisis because they don't know what they want to be, they also have a bit of a quality control issue with short battery life, stick drift, and just all around. It seems like PlayStation users have to buy multiple controllers throughout their lifespan with the console. Over on Xbox, we make quality controllers. Sure, they don't have fancy haptic feedback and the triggers don't lock themselves into place, whatever. But we have some of the nicest, most quality, best designed controllers ever created. And what's nice is that you can actually customize your controller. You can go online, make your own custom controller, ship it out, cost maybe $10 extra, but it's worth it if you want the little engravings and the nice colors. And yeah, we do have the $200 Xbox Elite controller, which, by the way, I know our regular controller uses AA batteries, but the Xbox Elite controller has a battery life of 40 hours. Meanwhile, the PlayStation 5 controller has a battery life of 6 hours. So, who wants to charge their controller every single day, as opposed to the Xbox Elite, which charges once a month and you're good to go. I think it's pretty obvious that he has all these fancy bells and whistles, but the Xbox controller has what the gamers really need.
Yeah, they need a controller from 2 generations ago. It's really great when a company isn't willing to innovate. See, Sony's trying to push the controller forward. What does the controller of the future look like? Microsoft's like, well, we like the controller from the past. See, that's more just that. I feel like that explains the caveman approach of your modern Xbox gamer. It's really the controller is the conduit for that, for understanding what the gamer looks like. And the gamer of the Xbox generation is like, well, I just want to shoot people in Halo. Like, that's my only skill set. Even if Halo isn't good anymore, that's all that they know. They haven't grown. They're infants. They're infantile. The Xbox 360 was their heyday. They've never evolved from that. The controller is the same thing. It's barely changed. Why are we still using the same controller? Games have evolved. We've moved on. The Xbox, yeah, it was cool 15, 20 years ago. We're not 15, 20 years ago. We're now. Make a controller for now.
Why would you change what's already perfect? See, what we do is that we take that brilliant design that we created 20 years ago and recreate new tiny innovations to go alongside it. And by the way, if you talk to anybody that plays on PC, that plays on other Android devices, that plays, on other things that use Bluetooth controllers, more than likely the Xbox controller, one of them, the 360, the Xbox One, or the Xbox Series controller now, is usually what they prefer to use.
That's because
what's interesting? What's interesting is over on PlayStation. Yeah, he has a new fancy controller, and he plays PS4 games. If you actually want to use your old PS4 controllers, which have most of the same functions, by the way, guess what? You can't use it on PS5 games. You can use it on PS4 games. You can plug it up to your PS5 and use it on PS4 games, but you can't use those controllers. You're going to have to buy a whole new set of controllers. Say you have 4 PS4 controllers and you get a PS5, and you want to play the brand new multiplayer, whatever, couch co-op PS5 game, whatever it is you want to play. You're going to have to buy a set of 4 brand new PS5 controllers. What is that, like $200 in your pocket for that?
Or one Xbox Elite controller. Wow.
But options. I give you options because over on my console, you don't need the new controllers. In fact, you can use the very first Xbox One controller and play the new games if that's all you got laying around. So you and your buddies wouldn't need to shell out all that money for those multiplayer games, which I'm pretty sure we have more of than you. So you could just plug in those Xbox One controllers and get to gaming.
Yeah, gaming like it's 1999, because that's what it feels like holding an Xbox controller. And by the way, your comment before about people on other consoles, on like PC and Android using controllers, if they know what they're doing, they'll use an 8-bit do controller, not a Microsoft controller.
Which is a talking point of mine because 8-bit do and even Nintendo take a lot of their design elements from my controllers. If you look at their controllers, the asymmetrical stick layout, the buttons, the all around designs of the Switch Pro controller, the 8-bit do Pro controllers, which have Xbox licensed versions, by the way.
The audacity of what this guy just said.
Are basically Xbox controllers.
I can't even believe what
nobody's taking your design. Where's your copycat designs at, huh?
Okay, there's so many. This is a Swiss cheese argument you've just labeled because there's holes all over it. Uh, let's start with, you said that Nintendo takes its design from Microsoft. Nintendo made the first real controller, so they're all using Nintendo's design. You understand? Like that argument is absurd. Okay, Nintendo made the controller. Microsoft made their controller off of that. I won't have any of this other stuff. Um, the reason that they don't make controllers like Sony's is because Sony patented it because they knew that they had a great idea there. So they patented the way that those joysticks are down there on the dual axis.
Did they patent how shitty they are? How often they break? Sounds like they just want to patent a controller and charge players more money.
Sounds like they want to keep their brand strong, which is something Microsoft should learn from Sony. Got to keep a brand going.
Guess you got to replace your controller again this year. Those sticks are drifting, aren't they?
That I would like to see the numbers on that. I don't think that's anything. I've never heard of that being a problem before. You have to show me the figures on that.
See, he's blind. He's ignorant to his own consumer base. Talk about value. And I'll go first. See, this is where I think things get interesting. Because he's going to sit over there, he's going to tell you he's got the best hardware, he's got the best controller, got the best looking games. That's what he's going to tell you. But what he doesn't want to tell you is how much you're going to pay for all this. How much it's going to cost you to even get into his current ecosystem. Console, $500. And that's, you're lucky for getting a disc drive with that. They just announced the new versions of the consoles. What is that? $700? Yeah, sure. Digital only. You can buy a disc drive for later. You gotta put it on yourself. Loser. $70. The controllers, lower quality than mine. Cost just as much. $79. Oh my god. What a price for those controllers. See, over on the Xbox, we understand that not everybody wants to take out a loan in order to buy their home console. Yeah, you could buy the Xbox Series X, which is $500. Sure, it's very powerful, more powerful than his, and comes with all the bells and whistles. You know, sure, you could buy the Xbox Elite controller, which is really for people that take their gaming seriously, unlike the toddlers that are playing his games. Days gone. You could buy those things, or hear me out. We have cheaper options. We have options for everybody. You could buy an Xbox Series S, which isn't as powerful as the Series X, but gets all the same features as the Series X. You're just losing a little bit of performance, and you're paying $300, and you don't have a disc drive. But I think that's a nice trade-off for the value it offers. If you just want to get on there, play a few games, access Game Pass, which is one of the biggest values in gaming, I think it's brilliant. He doesn't offer that. He doesn't offer anything even remotely close to that. You still have to pay an arm and a leg to get into his ecosystem. And we're basically offering to let you in for half the price he does.
You used a word in your little preamble there that I liked. It was called trade-off. I think that's what Microsoft should change the name of Xbox to. If they want their brand to really be honest, they'd call it the Microsoft trade-off. The trade-off Series S. The big trade-off Series S. Yeah, it's you say you're gonna have to pay for all that quality. You should, don't you think? You should pay for quality. Yeah. What a weird concept. Well, this it's all real good, but you're probably gonna have to pay for it. Yeah. And if you didn't pay for it, it wouldn't be quality. See, if you wanted, you're showing games off to people, right? And you're like, whoa, look at this Xbox game. I know it doesn't look quite as good as a PlayStation 5 game. And the features are a little bit lacking. But, I mean, I didn't pay as much for it. Like, is that what the Xbox brand is? Interesting. How about always just being top of the line? You're guaranteed quality. You're guaranteed that it's the best looking game available on the market. That's what Sony brings. Do you pay for it? Sure. But realistically, if you look at the quality that the PlayStation brings you, and then you check how much you're paying for it, you're actually paying less per, I guess, whatever the measurement of quality is. We'll just call them like Sony's. We'll measure it in Sony's. So the PlayStation games have a higher dollar per Sony than Microsoft games. The Xbox, their Sony count is almost zero. They're so low, and it's laughable. And it's so essentially that's the type of delineation you have. Is some gamers will pay less and get noticeably less. I'm talking like, wow, I might as well be playing the previous generation of gaming. It's so less. Or you can pay a little more, not a lot more, a little more, and you get the best gaming experience on the market. I know what I'm picking. I'm putting my extra $2 in.
Sounds like my opponent here is okay with highway robbery because you're not getting quality even better than last generation from his products. Is the amount of games he produces and the quality and variety he has is much lower than last generation, but he's charging more. He's charging more. It makes no sense to me. See, we actually want people to play our games and have our hardware and not have to worry about the price, how much they're going to have to pay out for all of this. There's an amazing thing that we do over on Xbox that Sony, it's cute that Sony has tried to copycat it, and they haven't quite got it. And I don't think they ever will get it, honestly, because they don't understand it. And it's Game Pass. See, with Game Pass, we essentially turn everything in your household into an Xbox. It's amazing. Not only can you play Game Pass on your Xbox, it's an amazing value. $20 a month, you get the brand new games we produce along with other titles from other developers. Huge library, EA Plays in there. You get a lot of variety and great games in our catalog. Not only do you get that on the Xbox console, you can play it on PC. You can play it on an Amazon Fire Stick on your phone. You can play it in multiple different places, just anywhere, really. Over on the PlayStation, they have this thing called PlayStation Plus. I don't know what the plus means, because all they're giving you is their old catalog, some old games that you're lucky they even put on there. They don't give you any new games. It takes about 2-3 years, before they dump their games on there. See, we actually let you download your games to your device. So if you want to play an Xbox 360 game, man, I miss the heyday of playing, Halo 3. You can download it, play it. Over on Sony's device, they do offer PlayStation 3 games, but you have to stream them over the internet with a really shitty internet connection. It doesn't work. It's laggy. It feels awful to play that way. See, we have game streaming across all platforms, and it works. It works very well. Sony has just been copycatting us for the last few years now, trying to figure out what makes Game Pass so special. While we're making all this money, it's because we let people in, and then we let them experience our games.
See, that's just more of, we talked about this earlier. Microsoft has to give away its games. People wouldn't play them. People wouldn't play Gears of War on the Xbox 360. It hasn't aged. It looks like crap. But that's the thing is it's like, well, what if we made them pay a subscription and then they just like were obligated to play it because they were paying a subscription for it. That's what Microsoft is at this juncture. And I don't think Sony is, we're really interested in that. We're interested in.
So explain your subscription then. What is anybody gaining from your subscription? Cost the same as mine.
We're gaining PS1 games that people really want to play that aren't made now that have.
Oh, you guys love Cool Borders.
Final Fantasy VII. Ever heard of it?
I don't think it's on there.
Well, I bet you it is. All those
I don't think
games.
it is.
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna find Cool Borders, Jet Moto, uh, Jumping Flash, and probably like a Hot Shots golf game. I don't think you're getting Final Fantasy VII. I don't think you're getting any of the classics, the quote unquote classics PlayStation has in their library.
I'm looking at some. These are just on the front page. These aren't. I'm not even delving into the library. Resident Evil Director's Cut, 97. Not a classic? Interesting. Legend of Dragoon. Not a classic? Interesting. Tekken 2. Never heard of that series before. R4 Ridge Racer. Never heard of that. Cool Borders 2000. That was a great game. Twisted Metal. They just made a TV show out of that. It's so big.
I'm surprised you didn't re-release it. Full price.
Medieval. Classic. This is just the front page. This isn't even all of them. I hope. This is just the front page of what I see here. And then we get into the PS2. Jack and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. I heard somebody around here likes that game. Dark Cloud. Rogue Galaxy. It's an amazing game. These.
Hey, where's God of War? Hey, interesting. You know, one of your biggest franchises. Where is it? Can you find it? Find God of War. Where is he?
I have God of War 3 remastered in here.
Oh, you're jumping right to the third game, huh?
I'm not going to delve into. I'm not even going to stoop to your level of looking at all these things and trying to figure it out.
What's funny is that you're like, you have to jump right and be like, well, look, you could play the third game over on our platform. Guess what? If you want to play Gears of War, Halo, Fable, whatever series you're into from Microsoft, it's all there. You can just hop right in.
Because you ain't going to make anything new. If you want to play Fable from 10 years ago, from 15 years ago, from 20 years ago, then here it is. Wow. Do you want to play Fable now? I don't even think the people making Fable want to play it. They just pushed it to 2026. I don't think they're releasing that game. See, nobody wants to play it now. That's the problem. They want to play it back when the Xbox was popular.
I have a question for Xbox over here. This is a little off subject, but I do have a question that I want to ask him. I'm Xbox, and I have a lot of different games, legacy franchises that I picked up throughout the years that I've kind of come to come home to Xbox as a brand. Hey, Sony, how many characters do you have in Smash Brothers?
I don't think there are.
The answer's none.
Any, yeah.
The answer's none. Yeah, I have 2.
What, the Minecraft guy?
And Banjo. Did you forget we own Rare? You forgot we own Rare, didn't you?
I didn't.
Yeah, we own that legend. We own that legendary game studio.
Yeah. Again, remember what I said about game studios getting purchased by Microsoft? Hey, let's go die. Rare is a great example.
Sea of Thieves is still very much alive. Very much alive. It's very popular. It came to your platform recently, in fact. Because it's so popular.
Sea of Boring. That's what it should be called.
See it.
Nobody likes it.
Okay. Speaking of things people like, everyone likes sex appeal.
This is a slam dunk. I can't even believe we're going to talk about sex appeal. PlayStation 5 is curvy. It's sleek. It's like... What's the Xbox? It looks like a damn brick. Looks like a refrigerator. I think they made it into a refrigerator, like a mini fridge.
They did. We did.
Yeah. I think there's not even a comparison for which one is sexier. The PS5 is much sexier. Now let's even think about let's go past the outside, the exterior, and let's look at the inside. because I think sex appeal is more than just outside appearance. Look at the intuitive nature of its system where you navigate. I can't remember the name of it. What you'd call that interface.
The
Look at
UI,
its
yeah.
look at its UI, its interface. Sleek. You can hear the you couldn't hear that, but you can hear the because I went too high pitched. But you can hear the hum as you're navigating through it. The responsive nature of it. You know where everything is. You can easily navigate it. It's the way that it moves. It almost moves in like a silky smoothness to it. Gets you hard. PlayStation 5 is the sex appeal machine. The Xbox is a refrigerator.
The PlayStation 5 appeals to incels. That's who the PlayStation 5 appeals to. Because the Xbox is an actual piece of hardware and not whatever the hell that is. I can't even describe what type of. People said it looks like an internet router, I guess. I can't even describe what kind of thing the PlayStation is. You have to have little feet stands to like set it up on its side. Oh, but you know what? I never mentioned earlier, by the way. Whenever your console first launched, you know how it was advertised to set up right? Apparently, that would fry the motherboard. Good job. So let's talk about the Xbox and sex appeal. Not only do both models, which look distinctly different, by the way, look like real pieces of machinery. They look like they could really get the job done, which for a gamer, nothing's hotter than a console that can deliver on its promises. Not only that, but even on the inside, he's talking about the UI, which is hilarious. Hey, Sony, what happened to customizing your console themes? What happened to really making your dashboard your own? Because you can't do that anymore on PlayStation 5. You're stuck with whatever lame background they thought up whenever they were haphazardly designing the thing. Over on Xbox, you can actually customize the UI. We give you free themes all the time for brand new games that are coming out. Yeah, it was great. It's great. And also you can customize it yourself to make it really your own. Meaning that, guess what? If you want a sexy picture of Laura Croft in the background of your Xbox, you can do it. And that's the highest gamer sex appeal right there. I don't know. What do you have over there, Sony? You have little lines dancing around in the background of your UI.
You know what I find sexy is an interface that's easy to navigate, that's easy to understand. I don't want to play games with my interface. I want to play the games from the interface. I don't want the interface shouldn't be a puzzle I got to put together. I've never been so frustrated than using the Xbox interface. I find it so offensive, so tragic, so useless. Like sometimes I just want to. I go on there and I'm like, I just want to see what games are on Game Pass right now that are RPGs. I feel like I need a manual to understand how to do that. I feel like it's so unintuitive. Sony has made it so slim, so trimmed down, so easy to navigate. I think that's very sexy. And also, on your note about being able to customize the appearance of it, why would you want to change the appearance of something that's very sexy? Why would you want to change that? Why would you want to add, like, what if it was orange? Like, they've already curated the best colors for you. They've done that work. You don't need to change it. Leave it how it is.
There's a lot of things I could say about your UI. I think your UI appears simple on the onset, but then you start to really dig into it. You start to say, "Hey, where's this menu?" And you have to realize, "Oh, it's locked behind this stupid PlayStation button I gotta push. Oh, it's down here at the bottom now instead of the top where the other stuff was." You try to navigate. Have you ever honestly tried to navigate the PlayStation Store page? It's horrendous. It's awful. I can't find where the new games are. I can't find where if I want to look up specifically PlayStation 5 games, just PlayStation 5 games that are on sale, I have to go to the sales page. I have to go to all deals. I have to go to type. I have to go down the little cute little thing you have. hit platform, hit PlayStation 5, nix the VR, nix the PS4, whatever. They just hit PlayStation 5. They have to go up to type. I have to hit video game. I have to hit video game because if I don't hit video game, it's going to show me DLC and bundles and all this other shit I don't want to see. And so if I just want to see what PlayStation 5 games are on sale, I have to jump through hoops in order to do it. It's tedious. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be this hard.
It isn't hard, but you want to jump through some of. I admit there are some filters you have to use, but people are excited to use those filters because once they put them in, they're going to see these great games that they're excited about. See, that's the problem. That's part of what people don't understand is that sometimes those hoops aren't as bad as you think they are because what's on the other side of them is worth it. When you do those kind of hoops, which you have to do more of those, I think, on the Xbox. It's just to even get to that page requires untold amounts of labor. And I think when people get to the other side of that, they finally reach it. They're like, it's like climbing Mount Everest, and they're climbing. Oh, I gotta go to this thing. Oh my god, this has to load. Oh my god, and then they finally get to that store page, and then they filter it. They put all the filters in. Do I want the Xbox Series S versus X versus P versus Y versus version 2.0? There's so many different. It's confusing. And then you put all that stuff in, and then it's like, Halo Infinite. That's what they end up with. Whereas when they do that on the PlayStation brand, not as many filters. It's almost with the click of a button they can get there. And then there's this vast library of great games aligned in this sexy way that you can see everything. You can see what you're getting. I mean, the PlayStation, this isn't even really a competition. If we're scoring each one of these, which we're not, but if we're scoring them, this is almost a guaranteed 1 for PS5, 0 for Xbox. Mm-hmm. It would be, and you wouldn't take an Xbox to a dance. The PS5 would be the prom queen. That's the difference.
The prom whore, maybe. So you know what's sexy? Being able to make the home dashboard of your console really your own. And you can't do that on PlayStation. You're just stuck with the games you've been playing in a little line, and then a couple other tabs for the store and the Plus. On the Xbox, not only do you have the store and the Game Pass right up top. You're just talking about can't find Game Pass. You just look up. You just go up one. It's right there. But also you can actually customize your dashboard. Man, I've been really into playing the new Assassin's Creed game. Guess what? Pin it to your dashboard right there. All the information about that's come out about the game right there. Man, I want to keep track of how many games in the Far Cry series I'm playing. Make a folder called Far Cry and pin them right to your dashboard. All those games, every time you boot up the console, those games you've been prioritizing, they're going to be right there on your dashboard, ready to go. No, ready to go. It's all there. It's all sexy and sleek, and all you have to do is a little bit of tinkering to get it to work. See, that's where PlayStation doesn't want you to have to tinker. PlayStation's like, look, if you want to find the game you want to play, you have to go over to your little collection and you have to browse. But God forbid you own more than 100 games because you're going to have to browse through this library of things in order to find the one game you want to play.
What my friend across the aisle is suggesting is it's
convenience.
Imagine you have a girlfriend and you take a picture of a supermodel and paste it over her face every night. That's what he's saying. He's ashamed of the Xbox. We all are, to be honest, of what it looks like. It looks ugly. And he's like, well, we could put a picture of Assassin's Creed over it. Okay. Sony doesn't have that problem. You don't put things over the Sony UI. You don't put things over their design. It's good, and you go with it. You don't have to put Assassin's Creed over it. No one's putting that. No one. You don't want to do that. It looks great as it is. So go ahead. Go be an Xbox guy. Go hang out with him, and say, "Oh God, this UI is so ugly." Is there a picture of a Halo?
I'm not saying just pictures, but you can actually pin the games themselves to your dashboard and groups of games to your dashboard. In order to make your favorite games easily accessible, you turn on the consoles, they're right there waiting for you. It's like a big hug, you know.
Sony does
Over
that
on the
already.
Sony, no, they don't. They
Yes, they
hide them.
do.
They hide your game.
No,
No,
they're
they
right
don't. No,
there.
they
They're right there in the
don't. No,
front,
no, no,
especially
no.
most recent. Those are there as well.
Yeah, you have to recently played it, but if you wanna, yeah, they really help you keep your gaming prioritized over on Xbox, over on the PlayStation side. Also, by the way, why do you hide your streaming services behind another menu? What's up with that?
The
What if I want to watch Netflix? Why do I have to go to a whole other menu to find Netflix?
Because PlayStation prioritizes gaming first. I don't know what they're doing on Xbox. I guess they don't have a lot of games, so they don't have to do that. And then they want to like be like, well, what if you use it as a Netflix device? Okay, that's not what Sony's about.
I shouldn't have to hunt for Netflix.
Shouldn't have to
I
hunt
should
for
just be there
games
waiting.
on a gaming console.
Mm.
Touche.
There's the guy that makes the same. There's the guy that makes the same game and re-releases the old games.
It's because people keep buying them. People love them.
And they're stupid. What? Sorry, I didn't mean to call your fans stupid. I meant to call them dumb. All right.
How'd we do?
Yeah, let us know. Okay, we're done. We're out.
Yes.
Remove the logos. We're not these companies anymore. How did we do? Let us know who won the debate categories or the debate as a whole. Terry is going to say no one won.
We as gamers lost. That's the only answer.
We've all lost. This gaming is shit. But yet I still play video games, but it's garbage. But I hate it. But I still like video games.
But I still like them a little bit.
It sucks. Fucking sucks. Let us know what other types of debates you want to do. We're open to do other. I mean, we could do other consoles. That'd be fun. We could do other franchises. Man, I would love to do. I know I'd be. I know Spencer be dreading which side you would end up on because I don't think you want to be on either. But you know what I'd love to do? I would love to do Pokemon versus Digimon. I think that'd be a stupid one. I really like that one. But I think you'd dread it. Just like I think either way, there that coin flip. I think you'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Side you got.
Yeah, like it would be done flipping, and then I would get mine, and I'd go fuck, and then it's like, well, I would have said that on either choice.
He's listening with the other one too.
It's just like global
Fuck.
anger. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a side by side of like both outcomes. And they're both the same, except for you just got a different one. And then it's the same response.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck.
Well, let us know in the comments what else you want to see. If you liked Video Game Debate Club. I got nothing else to add.
Okay, bye.